and welcome. My name is Jocelyn and today I'm very excited. We are starting a brand new monthly video on my channel. What it is I will be randomly generating via the help of Google the palettes from my collection that I will be using for the coming month. So I'm starting this in December. I could have started it in January, but I thought I have the idea now. It's the beginning of a month. Why not start it early? So I made a spreadsheet of all of my current palettes. I do have 43 listed here, and 2 of these numbers do include my Lethal Cosmetics eyeshadows, which are all in a little palette, as well as this palette right here. It's one of the ColourPop magnetic palettes, but it has some ColourPop shadows and some Sydney Grace shadows, and it's just got a bunch of random single shadows. So this is also included in my list, and then this is the Lethal Cosmetics. These are those right here in this little kind of bigger actually palette. So I have, like I said, 43 numbers on here, and I am going to pull up Google's random number generator on my phone, and we're going to generate 5 palettes to use for the next month. I haven't filmed my Shop My Stash yet. That's going to be the next video I film. And in my Shop My Stash, I may pull for 1 or 2 additional palettes that I want to use for the coming month. Maybe ones that are cool toned, you know, for the winter, or warm toned specifically for the summer, or maybe one that I've recently purchased or something like that. So I will probably pull in 1 or 2 palettes from my Shop My Stash, but the palettes that I will be primarily using for the month will be pulled in this video, randomly generated. Hello? I think that this will be really fun, and then my expectation is that at the beginning of every month I will kind of go over the palettes that I had chosen for the month previous and maybe rank them from least used to most used or something like that, and just kind of give you a review of how it went the month before, and then regenerate new palettes to use for that next month. So this is month number 1, so we don't have any palettes that I really want to go over. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. I don't really know if you care to spot me. Palette number 30. Let's see, what is that? Well, I'm actually pulling in a palette that I have used. Well, I actually haven't used this too much, so I'm kind of excited that this is rolling over from last month into this month. But it's this palette right here. It's the Natasha Denona Gold palette. Like I said, I have used this a couple times this month, but not that much. And I really want to get some use out of these shades up here in the corner, the really pretty blue and duochrome green blue shade right here. So I'm okay with this being a rollover from last month. So here's our first palette that Google randomly generated. What I might do to avoid too many duplicates throughout the year is I may allow like a palette to roll over twice or be used twice in a year, and then kind of mark it as like red so I can't choose that one again, just to make sure I get through as many palettes as I can throughout the year, because I don't want to do too many rollovers. All right, 29, okay. 29, another Natasha Denona palette, the Sunrise palette. Maybe not one I would have necessarily chosen for the winter time, but I've got like, we definitely can work with this. It's a beautiful palette, one of my favorite color stories in my collection, so kind of funny that at least 2 out of my 5 palettes will definitely be Natasha Denona. Okay, let's hope that we jump away from this section. 20. All right, let's find out what 20 is. Oh, Kaleidos. That is actually behind me. Give me just a sec. All right, so our third palette is this palette right here. This is the Kaleidos Futurism 1 Sci-Fi Green palette. If you're not familiar, this is what the inside looks like. Very, very beautiful packaging, very beautiful color story. Maybe a little more fall than winter now that we're transitioning into the winter time, but that is okay. Let's move on to palette number 4. 37. Ooh. Oh, interesting. So 37 is a one-off in my collection. It is this old palette right here. It is the Manny and Makeup Geek palette from so long ago. This is what the inside looks like. We've definitely got some dip in some of these, and it's been a while since I've dipped into this, so that's very exciting that this was chosen for me. I've been wanting to actually pull this out and use it, so well done, Google. All right, so our last palette. Wait, isn't 29? Yeah. 29 we've already pulled in, so let's generate again. 1. All right, let's see. Oh, another one that I already had pulled in from last month. This is the Modern Renaissance palette. I used this a couple times last month, so that's fine that it's getting rolled in again. It is getting a little older in my collection, so I do want to get some good heavy use out of it, but this is the last palette that we're rolling in, so we've got 5. And I am gonna be choosing probably 2 palettes. I wanna bring in a newer one, and I wanna bring in a more cool toned one. I already have these 2 in my mind to bring in. So if you don't wanna miss what those ones are, catch my Shop My Stash, which should be coming up right after this video. And if you enjoy this video concept and wanna see me kind of review all of these 5 palettes next month, when I do this again for the month of January, definitely consider subscribing so you don't miss that video. I'm pretty excited. I think that this is gonna be fun. I think this is gonna be a good time. So if you like the video, maybe give it a thumbs up. And again, if you want to subscribe to not miss any future content from me, don't forget to do so before you go. All of those buttons are down below. And I think that is everything I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.